Good morning, class. So let us go on to the next topic. That's objectives of business. So every business or has multiple objectives in its need. Okay. So every businesses are directed towards achieving these objectives. So these objectives can be majorly or broadly divided into three categories. So they are called economic objectives, social objectives, or individual or human objectives. So your economic objectives are those objectives as related to an economic activity that happens in the business. So what do you think can those be? Survival, yeah. The basic purpose of any company is to survive and exist in the competition, right? So that is one objective. Profit, yeah. A business has the main aim to earn profit. They are incurring a lot of expenses. Out of that, they need a huge degree of profit, which is their major aim. And growth, every business organization must grow and expand in their activities. Only then a company can be successful and can survive in the competition. So those are your economic objectives. Now coming to social objectives, what do you think are social objectives? Okay, so when you see the word social, it's always related to the word society. So what good a business can do for the society? So that or those objectives is what is called your social objectives for a business. So I'll give you some examples, such as giving the best quality or the most competitive quality of goods within the market, and avoiding different unfair trade practices that happens, such as hoarding, adulteration. You definitely would have heard about that. Then another very important social objective is to provide employment opportunities. So unemployment is a very common problem in the society and in every society. So a businessman, by setting up a business, what he does is he creates employment opportunities for his society, or for the society in which he is existing, right? Then to provide social service, right? You would have heard companies running charitable organizations like schools, hospitals, and other NGOs, right? So what is it that they're doing? They're trying to provide a community service, or they are trying to serve the society. Yeah. So through that, a company not only benefits in the way of providing service to the society, but also it earns a goodwill in return. Next is avoidance of pollution as well. So you would have definitely noticed how different companies are adopting different environmental friendly techniques to of production, and to run down the waste materials in such a way that they are not polluting the environment. So that is again a social service. Then the next type of objectives are human or individual objectives. So what do you think individual objectives can be? Don't you think you need a good working environment, right? You need a good salary package. Whenever you look for a job, the first thing, or maybe for most of them, the first thing they get attracted to is for the salary. Then comes personal growth. How much skills and knowledge they are able to build in when they are within an employment opportunity, or when they are in a vacancy within a company, right? Peer recognition. Everybody wants to get recognized by others and hear praises about their work and skills, right? So that is again one objective. Then comes special benefits like crutches and housing facilities, medical facilities, free education, or education cess fees for the children, right? These are all individual objectives which a company provides. So the next topic, or another very important topic that is with regard to each and every type of business, is called business risk. So in one of the previous videos we had been talking about risk. So business risk is nothing but the probability of incurring losses, or not enough profits for the company. So this happens due to different kind of unforeseen circumstances which we cannot control. So say for example, there is a change in people's taste and preferences. In example, you can say a phone, right? maybe you're having a specified preference for a particular type of phone, but the very next month altogether a different phone comes into picture into the market with all very good features that can do the functions of a tab, and the previous say the mobile phone does not have in as much features as the new one. So again the previous phone or the first phone is facing a competition there, so there is a risk involved. Okay, maybe the new phone is getting attraction and people are buying the new phone more, and obviously what happens, the sales of the first phone goes down and they are incurring losses or maybe inadequate profits, right? So that is again a type of risk. So business risks, or it's majorly you can say what can you say that the best word to say is that it comes out of uncertainties or unforeseen circumstances. So say for example any changes in government policy or any kind of technology, all these kind of risks come due to unforeseen changes or uncertainties. And another important characteristic of a risk is that it's an essential part of every business. Okay, if you start a business, you can never avoid the degree of risk. There is always some kind of risk involved. It can be reduced, but it can never be avoided completely, right? Yeah. And another feature about risk is that it depends on the nature and size of the business. Bigger the business, the size of your risk or your degree of risk is also high. Say for example a business operating at a large scale, yeah, since there is a lot of finance involved, it definitely bears more risk as compared to the small scale industries, since there is a lesser amount of finance involved. Another important feature or nature of risk is to say that profit. Higher the risk you take, higher is the degree of profits you may earn. So the best thing about risk is every businessman, they earn profit is because they bear some kind of risk. It's like no risk, no gain, right? So larger the risk, larger will be your profit. So the next topic regarding risk is the causes, or what are the major causes of business risk. There are natural causes such as say earthquake, flood, drought, and the very current situation what we are facing, COVID, right? Then human causes, how sometimes employees in an organization, how dishonest they get and how they provide your business secrets to the other companies or to your competitors. That is again a kind of a crime they commit, and it's kind of a fraud, but these crimes they commit causes a loss to the company. So that is again a risk factor for any company or for any organization for that matter. Economic causes, say for any changes in the market conditions, say be it price, be it demand, be it government policies, again causes a lot of changes in the economy, and those changes again causes a risk, or it poses a risk or a threat to the company. Then there are physical causes such as changing technology, or say for example if a company is using outdated machinery, their outputs or their final products may not be as good as their competitors because they are using updated technology and we are still with the outdated technology. So that is again a physical cause, right? So these are your basic causes of your business risks. So you can think of types of business risks and try to relate them to these causes, and you can try to do some research and get some natural causes, some human causes, economic causes, and other causes such as physical causes that poses a risk to the business. That can be done as an activity. Just have research and have a reading through your textbook so that you can understand more. So let's come up with the next topic for the next day. Thank you so much.